Okay.
Sure. So if we say here we are given f of x, no? And then we are also given g of x. And then we have this one as the sign, yeah. And then we're also given g of x. No? And then for 7.1, we need to solve. We need to solve where these two graphs are going to be intersecting each other. So we have f of x intersecting with g of x. And then they say x is an element between minus 60 till 180. So we'll say, let's park this one for now. We'll come back to it. First, I'm interested in us knowing how to draw the graphs. Eh? So how do we draw the graph? The simplest way for you to draw the graph is to use your calculator, the table method. Ne? So what we're going to do is to take out our calculator, and then we'll try to say on our calculator, let's go to mode. Ne?
Mode.
Yeah, we'll go to mode. Just like yesterday when we were using stats, ne? We'll go to mode.
Okay.
And then on mode, we will go to table, which is number 3, option 3. And then from there, it says f of x. Ne? Now, as soon as it says f of x, then we will then say,
from
okay.
Mode do I go?
From mode, you go to to table, option number 3. Yeah. So,
yeah,
am I sharing the calculator?
Let
me check. God, I'm not sharing the calculator. Can you see the calculator?
Yeah. I see it.
Oh, you see it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are at 3, ne? And then it says f of x. Can you see that?
I can see.
Yeah. So we're going to type this thing exactly the way it is, ne? This one. So I'm simply going to type it exactly the way it is. We'll start with f of x. We're not going to confuse them. So we have sine, and then x, we're going to say alpha. And then we press this bracket here, the close bracket, and then we say minus 30. Ne? And then we close our bracket. Are you there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So after that, I will say equals to. Your calculator should say g of x. What does your calculator say? If you say equals to. Viva EMF. This can be my sheet. This one.
Maybe. Not my sheet. Hey, no, let me Jimmy.
Viva.
Viva.
Fortune.
Oh, Fortune. You have your calculator there?
No.
Yeah, you need a calculator. We're drawing the graphs here. We need to make sure which Friday graphs we draw. If they say draw, we should make sure that one. Jane, you have your calculator with you?
Yes.
You have it with you?
Yes.
Jim is gone. Jim is gone. Okay. So we said, okay, we are going to have, Fortune, you say you are still looking for your calculator?
I have it now, sir.
You have it. Okay, let's start again then. Let's go to mode. You have your calculator?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to mode. We are doing 7.2. Now we started with 7.2.
You didn't do 7.1?
Yeah, we'll go back to 7.1. I first want us to start by drawing, and then we'll go back to solve the.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
So we have a table. We go to option number 3, table. And then we're typing this thing on our calculator. And then we had sine.
Which one, say?
Do you have your calculator?
Yes.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Can you see the calculator?
Yes.
I'm typing f of x, which is this one. this part here.
Mm.
So it says f of x is equaling to sine. I want to be able to type this thing. Ne? So I'm going to say that I have alpha. I have alpha. And then I have x. Ne? So you should press alpha first. It's alpha, and then you press x. And then you say minus 30. Close bracket. Oh, 0. And then you close your bracket. And then from here onwards, it says that you are going to have, depending on the calculator that you're using, if you say equals to, calculator should say g of x. The one that I'm having here, it says starts. Ne? So we should all press up until we get to start. Are we at start?
Yes.
Okay. Once you get to start, here they guided you where you should start. Ne? They said we should start at minus 60. So I'm going to tell them what we're going to start at minus 60. So we'll press minus. We'll go directly to minus 60 equals to. They will ask us where do you want to end. With trig functions, they will tell you where to end. So we'll end at 180. They gave us to say start from here. They said start at minus 60 and end at 180. So we'll tell them what you are going to end at 180, according to them. Yeah? Sure. And then they will ask us a very important thing, which is the step. Now, the step, they give it to us indirectly without even knowing that they're giving us the step. They are going to provide you with the graph paper. If you check your graph paper here, your graph paper usually gives you the step. So you're just going to check the distance from 0 to the first thing that you have there. That is going to be your step. So in this case, it means our step is going to be from here to here. We'll tell them our step is going to be 30. Every time if you want to get your step, your graph paper is a good place to start. They will usually give you the step because basically the things that they gave you are critical values. They want you to show all these values here. So we are going to say our step is equaling to 30 using our graph paper. And then we will say that we have equals to. As soon as we are done, it will generate that we have x which goes with y. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So what we're going to do then is to plot these values. So we have x, we also have y. So we're going to plot these values. Now, just to check if we have the same values there, I'm going to ask you to give me the values then. I'm going to hide my calculator and ask you to give me the values there. So we have minus 60, it goes with what?
-1.
So we'll say minus 60 and -1. We'll just come and shade here. If you have colored pens, I will encourage you to use them. So you'll say I have minus 60 and -1. You just come and shade. Ne? The next one, it says you have minus 30. Minus 30 goes with what?
-0.8786.
0.9. Ne? So if you check here, it says which we have -1. Ne? So what will be this? Each and every value will represent what? 0.2, 0.4, 0.6.
No.
It represents what? What does it represent? 3, 3, 6, 9. 0.25. 0.25, 0.25, 0.75, yeah, -1. Yeah. So each and every one represents minus. So you know we're looking for 0, so this is minus 0.75. So we're looking for 0.8. 0.8 can be somewhere here, and minus 30 and 0.8. So we'll have it somewhere here. Okay, 0 goes with what?
-1/2.
Minus half, which is here.
Yes.
Because we agreed, which this is 0 minus 0. Yeah. Okay. We have 30. 30 goes with what?
0.
30 goes with 0. Okay, sharp. And then we have 60.
Half.
It goes with 60 and half, no? So half is here.
Yes.
90.
0.866.
0.866. We said it's somewhere here, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, 120. It goes with 1. $120. It's 1.
Yes.
Okay, 120 it goes with 1. 150.
1.
0.866.
0.866.
0.866, which is here. And then last but not least, we have 180. Ne? It goes with 0.5. Ne?
And half.
180, it goes with
Yes.
a half. Okay. Now, the next thing that you are going to do is just to connect your dots. So because I'm using the red color here, I'll continue with the red color. So I have dot number 1, which goes to dot number 2. And it's a curve. You're using your hand. Ne? So you have dot number 1, dot number 2. You're always going from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. So this is dot number 1, dot number 2, dot number 3, 4, and so on and so on. And then you're just using your hand. Using your hand, it turns. And then there you stop. Ne? So here, this is a critical value. This is also a critical value. Is the x-intercept, is the y-intercept. So this one you want to show them. So you have this one, which is 120, which goes with 1. Ne? This one is also a critical value. It's a turning point. It's minus 60, which goes with minus 1. Ne? Okay. We also have this one. This one is also critical. This one here, it's 30, which goes with what? With 0. And we also have this one here. It's also critical. It's 0, which goes with minus 0.5. Yeah. So you'll want to show them these values here. They are important. You can also show them the endpoint here, which is 180. And the point. Huh?
And the end point.
Is the end point. Is the
Oh.
beginning, is the start point, and then we can also have the end point. Okay, we're done with that one. Everyone is happy. Ne? Did we have something that looks like this, more or less? Jane, you got it? Jim, did you get it?
Yes.
You think you got it? Okay,
Yeah.
let's draw
It's
the
the
other
same.
one. Yeah, and then remember, how did I do it? I didn't draw them same time. I started with f of x. I'm done with f of x. I'm going to take a different color pen, man. So if when now you have colored pens, use a different color for this one. So we go back again now. Go back to our calculator and then we say mode again. Let's go to mode. And then if we go to mode, we're going to press 3. And then when we press 3,
Yes.
yeah, and then we'll go back and type this thing exactly the way it is. So what do we have? We have, now we're going to g of x. Again, we're done with f of x. Now we go to g of x. So g of x is going to say,
Yes.
instead of, Tina, we are not going to type g of x where we see of g of x. We'll just type it here, even on our calculator where it says f of x. So we'll type this thing on the first thing that we get. So I'm going to say we have cos. And then it's 3, and then it's alpha, and then it's x, and then it's close bracket, equals to. Start again. They told us we should start at minus 60. Ne? So we'll tell them we're going to start at minus 60. Equals to. Where do you want to end? You want to end at 180. Equals to. Step again. Step, I said, guys, I repeat, the graph paper which is going to be provided can give you the step. There are other ways in which we can get the step, but the simplest one is to just go and check the graph paper, especially if you're drawing. You just look at your graph paper. Your graph paper is going to be giving you the step. So here, it means 30 is important. So because 30 is important, we are going to make our step to be 30. And then equals to, then we have our graph. Ne? So from here, we can then go and say, blue color, minus 60. It goes with what? It goes with minus 1. So there's a point of intersection. You see for number 1 already. You can see which we already have a point of intersection, which is something that they're asking us about, remember. So I'm going to go with the blue color. Okay, minus 30 goes with? Minus 30 is 0. So we go here, minus 30 and 0. Okay, 0. Are you sure? 0 goes with 1.
1.
Okay. We have 30. 30 goes with?
0.
30 goes with 0. Okay, we go
Yes.
to 30 is 0. Okay, sure. 60? Minus 1. Okay. 90, 0. So this one looks pretty much straightforward. 121. Point of intersection again. And then 150, 0. 108. It's 1 or negative 1.
Negative one.
Minus 1.
Minus 1. Okay.
Yeah, that's another one.
Okay, so we have minus 1 here.
Yes.
Okay, look at this then. We can then connect our dots. Dot number 1, we go to dot number 2 again. From the left hand side to the right hand side.
Yes.
We go to dot number 3, it turns, okay? Dot number 4, dot number 5, dot number 6, dot number 7, dot number 8, and then dot number 9. Yeah, these are the critical values. So you have your critical value here, you have your critical value here, you have your critical value. Yeah, these are important
Yes.
points.
Yeah,
So
a lot
you will tell them, which this one here, it's g of x, and
Yes.
then you'll tell them, okay, but this one here is what? It's f of x. Right?
Yes.
And then you're going to get your 6 marks. So what is it that they are marking here? They're going to mark you the turning point, the x-intercept. So they will say, let's give Elena a mark for the x-intercept and the y-intercept. There's a mark for that. No?
Okay, sir.
There's a mark for the turning point. So they will give you a mark for the turning point. And the last one, they're going to give you a mark for the correct shape. You see my shape here is correct. Yes.
So Miss the younger deciding wala so son and which 1:1 and 180 and what that's the one cannot trust of fellow penalize.
I don't think so. I don't think, yeah, because actually from here it's here, which is 120 is to 1. But I'm just saying things that they are marking, they are going to make sure, because actually Elena can, let's say you drew this thing, but the shape was not like this, because when you went from this dot to this dot, so you will get a mark for the x-intercept and the y-intercept, which maybe let me be practical. For whatever reason, go back to that one. Let's say when you went from here as a len, ne? And then you didn't see those 2 dots there, and then you went there. We have to give you a mark for the x-intercept, but not for the turning point, because your turning point is wrong.
Oh.
But your shape is also wrong. But the x-intercept and the y-intercept, if you check your x-intercept, x-intercept, all of them, they are fine. Your y-intercept is also fine. So what's missing here is the shape. The shape is wrong and the turning point is also wrong. Yeah, so they will penalize you for that. Okay, let's go back to the original graph. Okay. Sure. So this is what we have. Okay, sure. Guys, any question regarding drawing the graph?
No questions.
Anyone who has a question? Yes. Was there any question? Were you asking a question?
No, I'm fine, sir.
You're fine. Okay. Jane, you wanted to ask something?
No,
You're fine.
I didn't want to ask anything.
All right.
Yes.
So let's go to number 3. Ne? On number 3, and then we'll then go to number 1. Already we can see the answers for number 1. More or less, we can see them from the graph. Sometimes they're not visible, sometimes they're visible. But we're going to try it. Okay, let's look at this one. This one, they're saying we should have f of x multiplied by g of x. It should give us something which is less than 0. Ne? Negative. Like that. So we should multiply the y of f. We should multiply the y of what? Of g. Ne? And then they should give us something which is going to be what? To be negative. How do you get negative? You get negative by having a positive and negative. Or you get it by having a negative and a positive. Now, what does this mean? It means this one is above. So we'll write here. This one is going to be above. So f should be above. And then g should be below. That's what this means, this statement here. So let's go and look at instances whereby it's above the x-axis. Let's be specific. We want a situation whereby f is above, g of x is what? It's below. So you can go and highlight here. Let's check. We're going to look at critical points. Critical points is where our graph are going to be changing from below the x-axis to above the x-axis. And then we're just going to highlight them. So here, I think this one is y is equaling to 0. So remember here you have y is equaling to 0. Ne? Okay. Now, here, this graph is changing. Because this graph is changing here, I'm going to call this a very important point. Because the graph is changing. There's a graph which is changing, one of them. Yes. Which one is changing?
It's the blue one.
It's the blue one.
Yes.
Okay, let's come and check here. Both of them here are changing. So this is also going to be important. I'm just highlighting where the graphs are changing. Looking where the graphs are changing. So here, we also have blue changing. So we're going to highlight this one here. Blue is changing here. We're also going to highlight this one here. Blue is changing again.
Yes.
Okay. So remember, what do we want, Tim? We don't want both of them to be below the
On
x-axis.
the on the same side.
Yeah. So we're going to go in these critical points, all the points that I've highlighted one by one. We're going to look at them. Which here, what is it that we have? So this is important. This space is important. If we look at this one here, we have both of them. This one is below the x-axis. This one is also
Below.
now.
We don't want
We
the
don't want this one. So we cancel this one. We don't take it. We don't want this. It doesn't work for us. Space number two. Space number two, we have
one number.
blue is above, Angish.
Yes.
And then red is what? It's below.
Below.
Remember, this is the line that we're talking about. This is the line that we're talking about. They are above this line or below this line. Let me highlight it with a different color. Let's use what? Green. This is the one that we're talking about. They either should be above this line or below this line. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you look at this one, blue is above, Angish.
Yes.
Red is what is
Below.
below this line, the green line.
Yes.
So we take this one we want, because that's the situation that we want. We want one of them to be above, one of them to be what? To be
Below.
Okay. Now, from minus 30 up until we get to what? To 30. Are we still fine, guys, then?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's move on. If we go to number 2 here, let's check here. Red is above green, English,
Yes.
and then blue is below green, English.
Yes.
Also take this one, we want it.
Yes.
Because the other one is above, the other one is what is below.
Below.
Okay, we also want that. So
Below.
where is that happening? It's happening between 30 and 90. So from 30 up until we get to what? To 90. Let's go to 90 till 150. Ne? 90 till 150, it says this one is above, this one is also what? Below. Oh, this one is above, this one is also above.
So
We don't want it. Actually.
yes.
Let's look at 150 up until 108. Above, Amish.
Yes.
This one
Below.
That one.
Yes.
So with this one we also tick. Huh?
Yes.
So if they say let's write the solution, what are going to be our solution? Our solution is the ones that we've ticked. So this one we say we don't want, Amish.
Yes.
So we have minus 30.
Up until 90.
X is less than or
No.
We still like are it greater than
Are willing go fast quality or like very greater calling to or
they just said greater. I think they just said greater than. Yeah. They just said less than.
or
No,
like
so it's not less or equals to.
okay.
in everything that's what it costs to Moribia to input.
Yeah, we are also going to include the values, except if there's an asymptote, especially with 10. We should be careful of that one because there's an asymptote. Guys, is this clear enough? Mashit,
Yes.
Mashit,
Sir,
are you winning, Bob? You saw it?
yes.
All right. So we are going to write our solutions. You can clearly see, man, which starting from here, from minus 30 up until 90. I can write this thing.
But we shouldn't include 30 same.
I shouldn't
30 double 0. So it's going to be 0. It's going to be contour 0.
So it's going to be minus 30, English,
Up until 90.
up until I get to what? To
9.
90.
But
Not included, both of them.
yes, but 30, this positive 30 shouldn't be included. So
Oh, so okay, let's do it this way then. I get what Khoso is saying. to avoid making a problem. So let's do it as minus 30. Let's do it as minus 30. And then we go to it's minus 30 up until we get to 30. You want to avoid including the 30.
yes.
And then let's go to 30 up until we get to 90. And then we can go from 150 up until we get to what? 108. So these are going to be our solution.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes.
What if now on this last part I decided to say x should be greater than 150? Will I be wrong?
If you say it's greater than 150, but you
Yes.
don't stop it. Remember, greater than 150, 1 million is also greater than 150.
Yes.
So now you'll be wrong because you didn't stop it. You should stop it somewhere.
Or
We are good, guys. Ne?
Yes.
Okay, let's go and solve this thing then. Let's go and solve this one of 7.1. 7.1, the answers, let me show you the answers. Here are your answers then. F of x is equal to g of x. Here are your answers then. Just in case, we are saying just in case, I'm sure you couldn't solve question 7.1. At least you might get a mark for giving them the solutions what are the solutions for this one here? Your solution number one, you have minus 60. They're intersecting. X is equal to minus 60, they intersect. Where else do they intersect? They intersect at x is equal to 30. Where x are they intersecting? They're also intersecting at 120. So this is what we expect. We expect them to intersect at minus 60, 30, and 120. I don't know how they mark you. Like I don't have an idea with it, how they mark it. But it's not wrong because these are the true solutions, and then you call them graphical.
Greater max out of 7.
I don't know how they mark it. Maybe it can be 1 mark. Yeah, we'll check with how to they mark. Yeah, but at least it wouldn't be 0. One thing that we know is that it won't be 0. It won't
So
be 0.
they resolve using trigonometry.
Yeah.
Roaching Cosilla Rera 99.
Okay.
Let's
Check. Is there anyone who has an appetite for this one? Who wants to take us through it? Koto wants to take us through it. Okay. Okay. 7.1. What should I do here?
Okay.
So we have cos.
Yeah, repeat the statement again.
We have cos 3x, yeah, which is going to be the sine of x minus 30. Sure. Yeah.
So now, according to my knowledge, I'm going to change sign into cos.
So we're going to write this in another way.
Yes.
So if we write this in another way, it's going to be written as the
Cos,
yeah,
of open bracket 90
minus
into x minus 30
minus 30.
close bracket,
And then
which is
we have-
equal to cos 3x.
And by the way, we change the right hand side. We don't change the left hand side. So we say a left hand side in relation to the right hand side.
So pillar change this.
Yeah, the right hand side. And then even when we're reading the statement, they are saying to us cos is positive. That's what they are saying. Cos is positive. So you can write it somewhere there. We are looking for where cos is what is positive. Because that's where we usually start. We start by deciding where we're going to work. We work on the first quadrant, cos is positive. Okay?
Fourth.
Where else is cos going to be positive? Fourth quadrant.
Yes.
Okay, what should we do from here? What?
Then I'm going to expand this negative, right? Then check